It's actually going to be where I grew up, and that's Wheat Ridge, and that's just to the west side of Denver. So now I'm going to take you over to the Google Maps and show you a little bit more specifically about Wheat Ridge. All right, so as you guys can see here, looking at a Google map from a 30,000 foot view, if you look just at the overall area of Denver, what you're going to see is obviously there's quite a few different suburbs, but a lot of the most popular areas tend to actually be not as well known on the western side of town. So Wheat Ridge, Lakewood to the northwest are bad. Some of these areas, despite being in a fantastic location in my opinion, typically aren't quite as popular as some of the more well-known areas like, for example, Littleton or Aurora, or even up north in areas like Thornton and Northglenn. So with Wheat Ridge as the first of these three neighborhoods that I really want to dig into on this Google Maps view, first off, why I love it so much is because you're on the western side of town and you're a little bit closer to the ski hills. So if you are somebody that likes to get up and get to the mountains as often as you can, when you're on the western side of town in places like Wheat Ridge, you are a little bit closer, and that really does tend to add up after a while as far as convenience. So instead of, for example, on an afternoon after work, if you wanted to get up for a quick hike at the end of the day, instead of needing to, maybe leave an extra hour ahead of time just to get to the mountains from Wheat Ridge, you can access certain areas within as quickly as even 15, 20 minutes. So I really think Wheat Ridge is a great location if you are somebody that likes to get out and explore a little bit after work or on the weekends. So looking at it here though on the map, we're going to zoom in a little bit more. You're going to see that Wheat Ridge is right here on the left-hand side of downtown Denver. Zooming in a little bit more, you can see that downtown Denver, Union Station. So Wheat Ridge is just due west of there. And the way that I like to describe Wheat Ridge as far as its just kind of its boundaries is you have to the east of Wheat Ridge, you have this road right here, which is Highway 95, also known as Sheridan. If I zoom in really close, you guys can see it a little bit better, Sheridan. And backing up a little bit here, that's on the far eastern side of Wheat Ridge. On the western side, you really can go out as far as I-70, which is our westbound, east and westbound, but when you're taking it west, going up to the mountains, it's a very popular road to use. So that really could be considered the far west side boundary, but more to be really specific, it's going to actually be a little bit closer to the Kipling and Youngfield streets. So this right here would be Kipling, and then you can't quite see it, but right here would be Youngfield. As far as north and south, you've got I-70 again as kind of that northern boundary. And then down to the south, you can also use what I like to use as Colfax, which you can see right down here as number 40 here, Highway 40. So that's just kind of the overall kind of boundaries of Wheat Ridge. But now to dig into it a little bit more specifically, some of the things that I love so much about Wheat Ridge is, first off, some of the parks. So we've got Crown Hill, which is an awesome park. In fact, it's right across the street from Wheat Ridge High School. So you can see Wheat Ridge High School right here. Literally right across the street is this Crown Hill Park. It's a little over 2 miles, I believe, for the round trip. If you want to do the full circle. A lot of kids you'll see in the afternoons in the fall practicing for cross country, and also just a lot of people that enjoy bird watching and just getting some exercise. I also want to share with you guys in this video a couple of my favorite little unique spots in each of these three neighborhoods. So for Wheat Ridge, one of these is going to be an area that's called Gold's Grocery. It was an old grocery store back in the day, and it's right here off of 32nd. Off of 26th and right next to Paramount Park. And I'm going to zoom in a little bit more, and you can see right here, I'm going to switch over to the Google Maps view. And now you can see right here, oops, I'm a little bit too far. So this right now, it's actually showing this from a while back before they did some of these upgrades. So now right here on the right hand side of this is an Illegal Pete's. And Illegal Pete's is awesome because they have this massive outdoor patio that got extended onto the right hand side of here. It's got great views of Crown Hill Park, which is right across the street here. If I'll just go over here to the other side, now you can see this is the beginning of Crown Hill Park, and over here is the main parking lot for it. And it's just awesome. It's one of my favorite parks in Wheat Ridge. Not a ton of people, so it's really, really cool. Also, you're right next to just some of the other, in my opinion, best parts of Wheat Ridge. And one of those is going to be my gym that I go to every morning, which is known as Armbrust Pro Gym. And I'm going to show you guys that too, just because I have a lot of people that reach out asking me for good recommendations for fitness centers, rec centers, all that good stuff. So If you notice here, this is Kipling right here. I'm going to go ahead and get out of there. So Kipling is the western side of Crown Hill. Again, Wheat Ridge High School is right here. And if you just go a little bit down Kipling Street, you're going to get past 38th Avenue, and then a little bit past that, you'll see Armbrust Pro Gym. And Armbrust is awesome. It actually has some of the top bodybuilders in the entire world that call this their home gym. In fact, we had the Mr. Olympia a few weeks back, which is like the Super Bowl of bodybuilding, and 3 out of the 18 athletes that were competing in the top level, 3 of them have considered Armbrust as their home gym. 2 of them were actually still training out of Armbrust almost on a daily basis. So just really cool to have such a high level of just skill and passion behind this type of environment. So that's what you guys always want, obviously, when you're working out, right? So I'll just show you a little bit another perspective of this part of Wheat Ridge by going into the on the ground mode here. So here we are on Kipling. Armbrust Pro Gym is right here. It's really, really big. It goes all the way around to the back of the building. But the reason I also want to show you guys Armbrust Pro Gym and just this part of Wheat Ridge is because this actually backs up to what we call the Green Belt. And the Green Belt is just this awesome park that goes quite a ways along the Clear Creek Trail. And Clear Creek is a pretty small little creek that goes kind of in and out of some of the different neighborhoods in Denver. But what I love about it is an awesome place to just get a little bit away from the hustle bustle. You're not going to see nearly as many people in this part of the Wheat Ridge area. It's a great place to just get exercise. When I was in high school and even back in middle school and elementary school, we'd do field trips down here. And this is just right next to Armbrust. So right here, you can actually see Clear Creek. And it's just a great spot to get some exercise, ride your bike, take your dog for a walk, all that good stuff. And just on the other side of this is actually also our middle school. So the middle school, Everett Middle School, is just down the street from the Armbrust Pro Gym, as well as the Wheat Ridge High School down here. And on the other side is the Wheat Ridge Rec Center. So massive rec center, really, really nice. And then right across from that is going to be Everett Middle School, which is down here. This is where I actually went. So Everett Middle School is right here. So now we're going to just zoom back out to the main view here. And I just want to show you guys one more thing about Wheat Ridge before we move on to the next neighborhood. And that is going to be the Lutheran Hospital. So one thing that's really exciting right now in Wheat Ridge is Lutheran Hospital, because for the entire time that I grew up as a kid, Lutheran Hospital was located just off of 38th Avenue. And if it just scoots over here, I'll show you guys. Zoom in a little bit. So right here's 38th Avenue, and there we go, Sheridan, right here. There are we here? Oh, I went a little bit too far. There we go. So it's not showing up anymore. That's why I was having a hard time. So right here is where the old Lutheran Hospital was. You can still see this North Lutheran Parkway. And I'll just zoom in on it again from a map view to the street level view so you can see what's kind of going on here. So this is the old Lutheran Hospital, which is completely getting redeveloped right now. In fact, it just got passed a few months ago, back in May of this year, 2025. So going into next year, 2026, we're going to be seeing a lot of new stuff happening here. And this is the area that is being redeveloped. So as you can see, this is going to be a massive new development. They did get approval for up to 70 feet tall for buildings. So typically you'll see residential real estate at about 35 foot as far as the max height. They call it FAR. I think it's the maximum height that's typically allowed in a residential area. But since this is zoned previously as a commercial area, they actually have approval to go up to 70 feet, which will be, a couple story tall mixed use development where you might find some apartments on the upper levels and then some businesses on the street ground level. So just really excited to see what all happens here. And just as a little bit of an example too of just how much Wheat Ridge is improving right now, just to the east of Lutheran is another area which is called just really the Wadsworth Shopping Center. So again, 38th Avenue, right here at the corner of Wadsworth and 38th. We got a lot going on here. So as you can see, this is just the intersection I'm talking about, but they just over the last 10 years or so been really improving this. This was really bad construction for a long time because they actually widened the roads. And now you have all of this great mixed use, as well as this really good commercial, a lot of good restaurants, kind of more that fast casual. There's even some new indoor pickleball courts down here. There's just a lot of stuff. This Lucky's Market unfortunately did not survive, and this is what now is the pickleball. So a lot of really just fun stuff going on in Wheat Ridge, and that's why I wanted to include it as one of the 3 neighborhoods today to share with you.